calendar, of course. And welcome to a very sunny Paul Ricard. We are looking forward to going racing for the final time in the Formula Cup with a bumper grid of 21 cars. And of course, where else would we start than Enzo Richer, the new 13-inch champion, starting on pole position. Of course, we've got Dylan Estra alongside him. In second and third on the grid is Nano Lopez, or Lopez Nano rather, and it looks like Chris Stevens is standing by. So hopefully we should be able to hear very shortly from Lopez Nano, who is starting third on the grid. So let's head down to Chris Stevens, who's standing by on the grid.
Yep, down here on the grid with Nano Lopez, who is in his first weekend of racing in this Formula Regional car. So brand new car for you. How's it been going so far?
So it's been pretty good. We had P3 in race 1 and 2. But yeah, obviously we want more, so yeah, let's try to give it everything to win this race.
The two cars in front of you, Enzo, of course, new champion. Dylan Estra has been on a rich vein of form. Can you take the fight to them?
Sorry? Again? Yeah, I couldn't.
Obviously, Dylan and Enzo have been very, very quick. Can you take the fight to them?
Yeah, yesterday we fought with Dylan and yeah, with Enzo. So yeah, I think we could win, yeah.
You've had some cracking battles with Dylan. Right, we've had the klaxon, we've got to go. We're being told off by the mechanics. Good luck to Lopez Nano. Claire, let's go back up to you. One last fight to come in the Ultimate Formula Cup.
One last fight indeed, so let's go racing very shortly. In the Ultimate Formula Cup, as I was mentioning there, it is the championship leader, Enzo Richer, who starts on pole position. Rookie champion as well in the Formula 3 Regional 13-inch class. Our Formula Renault 2.0 class was wrapped up as well yesterday with Alain Boucher, who took the championship on the same time as Enzo Richer. That is our championship, well, I was about to say championship leader, but it's no longer the leader. He's now the champion indeed for 2024. And he will be looking, yesterday when we spoke to him after the race, he didn't seem particularly happy when he spoke to Chris, and that was largely down to the fact that he hadn't won the race. However, he had won the championship. So you would think at this point in the situation he would have been happy about his situation. However, he wanted to finish the season with a win, and that is exactly what he'll be looking to do today. He's got some strong competition behind him, though, in Dylan Estra and Nano Lopez, as well as Evan Moyne and Auburn Robert Prince as well. A driver that we should mention is Adrian Klosmanel, who is back. He's got a new chassis for today. Yesterday, basically, he was leading the way with about an 8-second lead in the second race. He won the first race as well. And unfortunately, the car just gave up on him and was basically on fire. So the championship have decided to allow him to come back into the championship, obviously with a different chassis. And he will start 10th on the grid. So it'll be very interesting to see what Adrian Klosmanel, who has been incredibly impressive in this championship, despite only taking part in 2 rounds so far. He picked up 2 poles, a win and a second place in Portimao, and obviously picked up 2 pole positions yesterday, and started 6th in the prototype as well, which was the 4-hour race we had yesterday, and picked up 1 win and was on his way to a second win when unfortunately his car gave up. So it'll be a 20-minute race. Enzo Richer is fighting for pride out there, as well as picking up a win to finish his incredibly successful championship battle. He only had 1 bad weekend where he crashed out in Mugello, but he was so far ahead that he still picked up 6.5 points because of a certain rule that Ultimate Cup have, which is basically if you complete a certain amount of the race, you still pick up points. Formation lap underway then. But pretty much every other race that Enzo Richer has competed in, and I say pretty much every single other race that he's competed in, he has been on the podium. 2 third places, picked up 4 wins, and as well 6 second places. And a second place yesterday as well. So 2 second places yesterday rather in Paul Ricard, because Adrian Closmenil won the first race and the second race was won by Dylan Estra. So, as I mentioned, the change of chassis for car number 30, which is the bright red livery, which I think is about to blast past us now on the screen. That could be, oh no, it's not. It's from behind, which is, I think it's actually Sergio Copacini just at the back there. He's got a very similar livery in that red, but he's in a completely different car. He's in the Formula Renault 2.0, which you can see as a very different shape from the Formula 3 regional 13 inches. And we will soon be going racing here in Paul Ricard for 20 minutes. And the ones to look out for, like I say, is the championship champion, Enzo Richer. Dylan Estra, who again is only joining us for the second time this season. Very impressive debut he had in Magny-Cours last time out, 2 second places in a winning class. And he has competed in the French Formula 4 and finished 9th overall, picking up a win in Dijon, and also technically a win. Well, he picked up 2nd in Paul Ricard back in October, was handed the win, but then had it taken away due to a penalty for the winner that was also taken away. So stuck with 2nd place, but still pleased with that one, I'm sure. He's got a relative in Kevin Estra, the world endurance driver. He races for Porsche at the moment. GTE 2018-19 titles and many titles with Porsche as well. So they will weave their way around the final few corners of this track and line up ready to go racing in Paul Ricard for a final time this season. We will head back to Paul Ricard next season, of course. It will be our championship opener in Ultimate Cup in March. And then we will finish the race weekend, the race season like we have this season in November as well, over a similar sort of time. The 7th to the 10th, we will finish the championship here as well as going to Mugello. We're going to Portimao again, Aragon and Magny-Cours as well in the 2025 championship, so do make sure you join us for that. But let's put our eyes now to Enzo Richer starting on pole position. He's looking to pick up a win for this weekend, and it would be the final win of the season, and it would be pretty fitting considering he is now the Formula 3 regional 13-inch champion as well. So eyes will be on the clock, a bit of smoke there from the brakes. You can see just rising above the cars, and then the green flag will be shown at the back just as the final few cars just make their way into their allocated positions at the back of the grid. So 20 minutes on the clock then. We are waiting for the green flag at the back, and you can just see it flying a little bit there. Engines will start revving, the countdown is on, and we will start the race now, and we go racing in Paul Ricard, and it looks like a good start from Enzo Richer into that left-hander, but Dylan Estra's got a really good line into the left-hander of turn 1. A bit of a weaving there as he looks to try and find the position, but I think it should be Enzo Richer who's got the lead going into that corner. They're side by side. Oh, bit of a twitch there for Dylan Estra, has to slot into 2nd place behind Enzo Richer. So it's Enzo Richer who leads the way. Dylan Estra has to settle for 2nd at the moment, and it looks like Nano Lopez is still in 3rd as it stands. So they all get round the first few corners unscathed as it looks at the moment. Maybe some cold tyres out there as well. That might have been why we were seeing Dylan Estra just getting a little bit twitchy off the line and into turn 1 as well. But comfortable lead at the moment for the champion Enzo Richer. He will be under pressure very shortly though from Dylan Estra, who is putting his foot down. And looking to take another win is Dylan Estra. Nano Lopez then remains in 3rd position, putting pressure against Dylan Estra as well. Those two have had a great battle so far. And it looks like, I'd have to just have a quick look, but it looks like Adrian Closmenil, yes he has managed to get himself up from 10th to 4th in very quick succession. So impressive work from Adrian Klosmanil. We've got yellows out in sector 2 at turn 9. And this here is Artur Agator looking to get round Laurent Vutic, it looked like. So Enzo Richer then leading the way. And Dylan Estra just behind, unable so far to put pressure on the champion. A little further behind in 14th place, Alain Boucher is the Formula Renault 2.0 champion. And Dylan Estra here, coming into turn 1, is seeing if he can go around the outside again of Enzo Richer. Enzo Richer closes the door quite quickly, and there is no place for Dylan Estra to make that work there into turn 1 and turn 2 and 3 as turn 2. And we head up towards turn 3, the right-hander. And then we get into quite a difficult sequence here of 4, 5, 6 and 7. However, we will then have the long Mistral straight, and that is a little kink there between 8 and 9 on the Mistral straight is a key overtaking spot. So, oh, someone's just gone a little bit wide there. A couple of them went wide. It looked like Enzo went a little bit deep into the corner, and then Dylan Estra, who has actually managed to, something happened there. As I look down on my timing screen for 10 seconds, Dylan Estra has, where's Enzo Richer gone? Oh, not sure about that. Nano Lopez looking to see if he could go up the inside of Dylan Estra, and absolutely there was no space, I don't think there. There's Enzo Richer then. Looks like maybe he went through the runoff area and has had to lose the win here, or at least drop right back down to 4th. So Dylan Estra has once again, despite nearly getting taken out by Nano Lopez being a bit too ambitious, has now taken the lead again. So what exactly happened there to Enzo Richer? Because he was leading quite comfortably, and then unfortunately it looks like he maybe came off and went through the runoff area. So Dylan Estra then looking to take his second win of the weekend. Adrian Klosmanil has moved up from 10th on the grid to sit second at the moment. So let's see a replay here. So this is the replay on Dylan Estra and Nano Lopez. And by this point, we've already lost Enzo. Or is that Enzo there? So, oh, there we go. So what I think that was is Enzo Richer was taking action to not bump into Nano Lopez. But why was Enzo Richer down in 3rd at that point anyway? I'd have to go back and have a look at that. But as it stands at the moment, a bit of a lock-up there for Enzo Richer, who's going to be absolutely furious, I'm sure, now sitting 4th behind Nano Lopez. She's dropped down to 5th, my apologies. So I think we've got the timing screen has got a little bit confused there, because it's put someone else who is absolutely not in the championship battle or anywhere near the front of the grid at the front. So I'm going to go off my other timing screen. That's not the one that you're seeing on the screen. And I'm going to go from my eyes, which is Enzo Richer has managed to get past Nano Lopez. It's Dylan Estra from Adrian Klosmanil, from Enzo Richer in 3rd, from Nano Lopez in 4th, from Evan Moyne. So not quite sure what the timing screen's doing there. It's having a little moment, so ignore the graphics. And let's try and for once listen to me, maybe, if I can work out what happened to Enzo Richer. So this then is car number 23, which is starter is under investigation. So this is Dylan Estra, who's leading the way from Adrian Klosmanil. Adrian Klosmanil is closing that gap every lap, though. He's only a second and a second behind, just over a second behind, and he's really starting to close that gap to look to see if he can take a win coming onto the start-finish straight once again. 13 minutes left on the clock and heading into turn 1. A bit of debris there. which shouldn't cause too many issues as long as no one runs wide onto it. But why have we got debris? That could have been from Nano Lopez and Dylan Estra having a coming together. But Estra now under pressure from Closmanil, who's in a new chassis after his car gave up yesterday while leading the way for Winfield Racing. And these two not in a championship battle at all, which basically means it's a bit of a free run for these two. They could fight for the win, and once again, only pride is up for grabs. So Nano Lopez looking like he must have damage out there because he's holding up Artur Agator behind, and he goes a little bit wide, and Artur Agator manages to get past, I think. So are we going to see, unfortunately, Nano Lopez retire from this race? We might do, because we saw him go a little bit wide there, so I'm guessing that debris was from the issue he had. And I can't see him running anymore. That's Enzo Richer. So Dylan Estra, Adrian Closmanil, and then Enzo Richer behind. So Enzo Richer is still in podium position at the moment. But it looks like Nano Lopez may be having an issue out there. So Dylan Estra under big pressure from Adrian Closmanil, who just has a little slide there, loses the rear end, only a very small amount, but enough to see him just drop back just slightly from Dylan Estra. But I don't think this championship battle's over just yet. Championship battle. Fight for the win. So used to say championship battle. The fight for the win is not over yet. 11 minutes 40 then left on the clock as we head past the start-finish straight again for the 4th time. And Dylan Estra leading the way. Adrian Closmanil second. Enzo Richer, unfortunately, having a bit of a lonely old race now after, I think, taking evasive action to not get caught up in Nano Lopez and Dylan Estra's fight. Once again, the graphics are not quite showing exactly what we're seeing on screen. So Dylan Estra is the leader, not Nano Lopez, followed by Adrian Closmanil, followed by Enzo Richer, with Artur Agator 4th at the moment. Rounding up the top 5 is Evan Moynier. Auburn Robert Prince is 6th, and Nano Lopez has dropped down now to 7th. Looks like he's in the pit lane, actually. So big issues for Nano Lopez, and a shame for him because he was running pretty strong, but you have to say it was a bit of a bold move from Nano Lopez, a bit of a lunge that maybe didn't work out for him. Well, definitely hasn't worked out for him. So Adrian Closmanil waiting, biding his time, seeing the right place to be able to overtake Dylan Estra. And these two have really impressed, actually, coming into this championship, and you can see now Adrian Closmanil is closing. He's so much closer, looking for any gap, any mistake that he can force Dylan Estra into. And may we see a change for the lead very shortly. Dylan Estra just really, really trying to make his car about the size of a bus at the moment to try and stop Adrian Closmanil from taking the lead. Oh, and he's going up the inside, and Dylan Estra says absolutely not, but Adrian Closmanil might have the line coming across the start-finish straight to see if he's got the faster straight line speed, and we will go into a left-hander of turn 1, which kind of means that Dylan Estra should have the racing line going into turn 1, and he does. So Dylan Estra remains in the lead, and can Adrian Closmanil take him into turn 2? Not quite there. That was probably a very good position for him. Oh, and Dylan Estra just goes a little bit wide there, gives him an inch, sees if he can go around the outside, does Adrian Closmanil, but no, Dylan Estra once again goes wide at that corner though. Another right-hander here. This is the very tricky sequence of 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, which doesn't allow for much overtaking because there's not much time to get back on yourself into the next left-hander or right-hander. So we're onto the long Mistral straight now. This is a great opportunity before you get to turns 8 and 9. Can he do it here, going into turns 8 and 9? He'll go into the left-hander first, and they're side by side. but Dylan Estra still just has the edge on Adrian Klosmanil coming into turns 8 and 9. The little kink there, good opportunity to overtake as we head down to the right-hander of turn 10. And they're side by side again. He's seeing if he can go round the outside here of the right-hander, but again, he's going to run out of track. Oh, and he pushes him wide. And he says, absolutely not, you can't do it there. Heading into turn 10 and 11. Adrian Klosmanil's not letting go, though. He's looking really hard to see if he can get past Dylan Estra. Dylan Estra's doing some mighty defending here. We turn into turns 12, 13, 14, and the final turn of 15, heading back onto the start-finish straight as well, onto the final corner of the lap, and it still remains somehow Dylan Estra in the lead as we head round to the final corner now, onto the start-finish straight. And once again, they're side by side. Dylan Estra went in a little bit deep round there and went wide rather than deep, and allowed Adrian Klosmanil to get alongside him once again. But as I mentioned before, it is a left-hander into turn 1, and Dylan Estra says you're not going to do it there again. So Adrian Klosmanil trying the same move again, but unfortunately not working out for him for a second time in a row. Lap 6 then, 7 minutes left on the clock, and this battle for the lead continues between Dylan Estra and Adrian Klosmanil there. Little twitch then again from Dylan Estra. Adrian Klosmanil seeing if there was an issue there, a bit wide once again from Dylan Estra, and this is this tricky sequence I mentioned of 3, 4, 5 and 6, and it's a right-hander, left-hander, right-hander, right-hander, then a left-hand kink. So you don't really get a lot of time before you get back onto the Mistral straight to be able to overtake. There's a bit of traffic ahead of them here. Dylan Estra takes a bit of a different line, and it could be to make sure that Adrian Klosmanil looking to go into the left-hander on the inside, but absolutely not. There was a bit of traffic there that could have caught Adrian Klosmanil just out a little bit then. Dylan Estra seemed to see that there was traffic in front of them. Once again, they're side by side as Adrian Klosmanil really looking to see if he can grab the lead of this race. And once again, Dylan Estra not allowing him there. Going wide once again, careful of that debris to Adrian Klosmanil. They're close enough to bump wheels at this point. And finally, Adrian Klosmanil manages to do it, but he goes wide. And Dylan Estra, is he going to take it back? Well, that was quite the lunge then from Adrian Klosmanil, not allowing it there. And it is Adrian Klosmanil who's managed to finally take the lead from Dylan Estra. But I don't know if this battle is over just yet. Incredible stuff from these two, and finally Adrian Klosmanil can breathe a sigh of relief. We're coming back to the start-finish straight now. Final corner, turn 15, down the long straight. Dylan Estra put up a huge fight there, and I don't know if this fight is over yet because he is still on the rear end of Adrian Klosmanil. Looking to the outside, similar to what Adrian Klosmanil kept doing to try and take the lead into turn 1. All the side by side going into turn 1. He's going to run out of racing room there, and he does. Adrian Klosmanil manages to keep the lead heading into turns 1 and 2. And here we come up to the windy little areas of 3, 4, 5 and 6 again. And all this fighting has put Enzo Richer on their tail as well. So the battling has managed to see Enzo Richer close that gap as well. Back to the Mistral straight then, down to the turns, the kinks of 8 and 9. And it does remain Adrian Klosmanil in the lead from Dylan Estra, and Enzo Richer, the champion, in 3rd place at the moment. He was looking to take a win here, but unfortunately, I'm pretty sure had to take evasive action from Nano Lopez and Dylan Estra's incident. So car number 30, which is Adrian Klosmanil, has been given a warning flag for driving standards. So at the moment, that's just a tap on the wrist. Car number 23 was also given a warning flag for driving standards. So I think they've both been tapped on the wrist, told to calm down a little bit, which is interesting for the two, but only a warning flag as it stands. So Adrian Klosmanil looking to take his second win of the weekend. Dylan Estra picked up one yesterday. And once again, if it finishes like this, Enzo Richer would pick up a podium in every single race, all bar one. But he has picked up points in every single race of the season, has our Formula 3 Regional 13-inch champion. But it looks like Dylan Estra's dropped off a little bit now. These tyres won't last forever. And they put a lot of pressure on the pair of them for pretty much 7 laps. Some incredible racing. Adrian Klosmanil making his way up from 10th on the grid. Leapfrogged about 6 cars at the beginning. Must have had a blinding start to move himself up to about 4th after about lap 2, I believe. And then has now managed to take the lead of the race. So the 17-year-old will be happy with that performance, especially after the disappointment yesterday of his car breaking down throughout the race after leading the way with an 8-second lead. So definitely one to watch out for is Adrian Klosmanil. As I mentioned at the beginning of the race, he's raced for us before in Portimao and 2 pole positions, 1 win and a 2nd place. He's also took part in a film that we had with us, film crew was with us in Portimao for Netflix, and it was a film called Rapide. I think it was Rapide. And Adrian Klosmanil was one of the characters who played a racing driver in it. So he was on track. We had the Ultimate Formula Cup races involved in that, and he played a character called Max Roland. So at 17 years old, already a movie star, as well as a very talented racing driver. So 1 minute 20 on the clock left, and a lap here is around 2 minutes. So I would think this is the final lap now, as they are circling about 2 minutes, yes, and confirmation there of the final lap for Adrian Klosmanil. All he needs to do now is just get round the final 15 turns, and he manages to pick up another win at this historic Paul Ricard track. Obviously, former French Grand Prix venue. Majority, but not all of the time from 1971 to 1990. And in 2018 as well as 2022, rather. It didn't come here in 2020 due to COVID. But obviously has helped develop some of the best racing drivers we know, including, of course, 4-time world champion Alain Prost. His son is racing here this weekend, Nicolas Prost. And we are very happy and lucky to have these wonderful drivers joining us on the grid. So Adrian Klosmanil, final few corners for him to pick up his 2nd win of the weekend. And of course, his 2nd win of the championship as well in the 13 inches. I hope to see Adrian Klosmanil back on the Ultimate Cup calendar, because he has been a fantastic driver to watch, as well as Dylan Estra has been a really fantastic addition to this championship. And of course, Enzo Richer, who is our champion in the 13-inch class as well. So coming around the final few corners then is Adrian Klosmanil, and he's had a tough weekend despite 1 win, of course. Picked up the win in Paul Ricard yesterday morning, was leading the way by 8 seconds yesterday. Unfortunately, though, didn't manage to finish the race, but starting 10th on the grid, he has picked up his 2nd win of the weekend. Adrian Klosmanil wins the 3rd race in the Ultimate Formula Cup here at Paul Ricard. Dylan Estra just behind him in 2nd place. Another wonderful performance by the young driver. And Enzo Richer wasn't able to pick up a win on his final race of the championship here in the Ultimate Formula Cup, but does pick up the rookie winner, and of course does pick up the Formula 3 Regional 13-inch class win as well. So fantastic work from him. Artur Agator picks up 4th place. Evan Moignet picks up 5th. Auburn Robert Prince picks up 6th. Frederick Boileau, who was in championship contention, is now in 7th. Craig McClatchy unfortunately didn't finish any races this weekend, so he'll be very pleased to finish in 8th place. Laurent Wutich in 9th. Walter Reichardt in 10th. And Didier Piard will come home in 11th. Final few cars just making their way round to take the checkered flag. And this here is Didier Piard and Alain Boucher. Crossing the line, Alain Boucher, who is our Formula Renault 2.0 champion. And he seems pleased with that one. Car number 68 then, Alain Boucher, getting confirmation that he is the 2.0 champion as well. So must be incredibly pleased with that one. Cheers all around for Alain Boucher, who picks up the Formula Renault 2.0 championship as well. Very happy for Lamo Racing, of course. And Alain Boucher just waving, cheering, very happy with that one. Our gentleman drivers have also been, gentleman championship was also wrapped up with Frederic Boileau. He was in contention for the overall championship, but of course it was Enzo Richet who picked that one up. But that is then Enzo Richet, unfortunately not able to pick up a win on his final race of the championship, but Adrian Klosmanil was just very impressive out there. Just a little bit too good from 10th as well. Managed to leapfrog everyone off the line, and you got to give him credit for that alone, in his new chassis as well. He had the woes obviously from yesterday where his car gave up on him, and this is a redemption, I'm sure, for Adrian Klosmanil. So he pulls up to number 1 spot, and I'm sure he'll be elated with this one. Car number 23, Dylan Estra alongside him. And Enzo Richet then pulling into the final spot in 3rd place for Formula Motorsport. So Winfield Racing, a great return for them. 2 wins, of course, and Craig McClatchy finishing in the points position as well in 8th. They had a disaster yesterday, 2 cars dropping out of the race in about the space of 40 seconds. So this is exactly what Winfield Racing wanted to see on their return to the championship. Adrian Klosmanil then is the winner. And Dylan Estra, of course, will be happy too. Looks like Chris is down there waiting to get a chat with Adrian Klosmanil. And not got to take his helmet off first. It's always very difficult to hear the drivers with their helmets on. I wonder if Enzo Richet has managed to take his helmet off a little bit quicker, or Dylan Estra. Dylan Estra already taking his off now, wearing his French Formula 4 racing suit. Finished 9th in the championship for that, picked up a win in Dijon and a 2nd place here at Paul Ricard in that championship. So been racing a bit already. And it's a great way to finish the championship, isn't it? So looks like we're lining up Adrian Klosmanil. Very happy looking Adrian Klosmanil. So I think it's time to head down to the pit lane, because Chris Stevens standing by with Adrian Klosmanil.
Yes, our race 3 winner, Adrian. Different chassis, but same speed out there.
Yeah. The mechanic did a very, very good job, thanks, because in the race 2, I think we broke the turbo, I don't know. And during the night, he did a very, very, very good job, thanks to all the mechanic of the Winfield, thanks to Winfield, of course. And it was a difficult race, but I did a very good start. I'm happy because the race 1 was not bad start. Race 3 was good start, and the pace was good, and I finished first, so I'm happy.
The first couple of laps were super intense for you. You absolutely flew up the order.
Yeah, it's obviously it's the start, because the start, I did a very good start. I'm happy with that, because I overtake, I don't know, like 5 people, I don't know. And after with the battle with Dylan was very, very intense and very, very good. I'm happy. Thank you.
What does 2025 have in store for you?
I don't understand.
Next year, what are you planning?
Next year, I think I will do the LMP3 championship another time, and I think we will win with cool racing.
Good to see you back with Cool Racing next year.
Yeah.
All right, marvellous. Well done. Congratulations. Great weekend.
Thank you. Thank you.
And that wraps up all the action from the Ultimate Formula Cup in 2024. Stay tuned though, because the Ligier Formula Cup, newly rebranded and same fantastic machinery, back out again for 2025.
So thank you so much to Chris Stevens in the pit lane. And thank you guys for joining us as well this season. We've had a cracking few races and the season has been incredible. It's Adrian Klosman who takes the win here, but it's Enzo Richer who wins the championship. So make sure you join us next year. We've got more racing to come in 2025.
Être un bon traiteur, c'est être intransigeant sur la qualité. On ne fait du bon qu'avec le meilleur. C'est être impitoyable sur les recettes. Quand c'est bon, il n'y a rien à ajouter, rien à enlever. C'est être irréprochable sur le goût. Il faut prendre du plaisir pour en donner. Voilà, pour être un bon traiteur, il faut être intraitable.
Parfaitement intraitable.